Next on NBC Palm Springs Midday, the Apple Fire now 30% contained. A look at those on the front line.
Is NBC Palm Springs.
Good morning, Coachella Valley, and thank you for joining us for NBC Palm Springs Midday. I'm Joe Smith. I'm glad you're here. If you've looked outside, you probably noticed quite a bit of smoke in the area. That is, of course, from the Apple Fire. Let's check in with Jerry about how long it's going to take for all that to dissipate today.
Well, it depends on the firefighters, of course, but yeah, we're getting a little bit of that haze over Southern California. Plenty of sunshine over the Coachella Valley today. We could see a little bit of that haze, too. Temperatures have come down a little bit, normal temps today, and then slightly below average as we move into the next couple of afternoons. So that's good news after temperatures at 110 or better the last week. And yeah, the air quality has been lowered thanks to that Apple Fire. And we'll have more on what that means for Southern California coming up. Today, though, a high near normal this afternoon. That'll be just below 110 for many of us in the Coachella Valley. The high for Palm Springs, 108. Full forecast and 70 this half hour.
All right, Jerry, thank you. Now taking a look at our top story, the Apple Fire again. It continues to burn this morning in Cherry Valley. It's now 30% contained after burning some 27,319 acres. All evacuation orders and road closures have been lifted here in Riverside County, and the evacuation center that was at Beaumont High School is now closed. However, evacuation orders remain in place for San Bernardino County. The fire destroyed at least 4 homes and 8 other structures. 1 firefighter was injured. The Apple Fire is so big, more than 2,500 firefighters are battling the flames. Several departments from across the state have joined the fight. As our Olivia Sandusky reports now, these crews are also being helped by a team made up of inmates.
The Apple Fire burns for the 5th day in a row, requiring over 2,000 personnel from all over the state.
Any large fire of this magnitude is beyond the capability of any size fire department. No matter how big you are, you got to call in other resources to come and help you. Because remember, even though this fire is still going on, in Riverside County, we average more than 500 calls a day.
The first responders report to the incident command post between shifts to rest and refuel.
This is where all the brain power happens to fight the fire, and what the management team comes in to do. This is where the firefighters get fed, where they sleep, and how they get paid.
Captain Herrera with CAL FIRE says it's necessary for firefighters to have a designated place to cool off, especially over summer.
Our firefighters are holding up as best as they can. Very physically demanding and challenging for them to be out here day after day, working 12-hour shifts or more, being exposed to the hot elements.
And as CAL FIRE crews deal with this large Apple Fire, they're relying on the help of over 300 inmates from all across Southern California.
They're trained and they're put together normally in a crew of 15 with a leader, which would be a captain. They're always under the supervision of CDC, corrections, enforcement officer that would always be there to oversee them should there be a problem, obviously. But these crews do a lot of hard work.
The inmates are serving for minor infractions and are constantly monitored. And Captain Herrera says their efforts are essential.
They go along the perimeter of the fire and they start clearing up. Wherever we can't get a dozer, that's the human dozer that comes in and starts clearing up vegetation, making a fire break, 1.5 times the size of the fuel that we're encountering. So they put in a lot of hours, really strong. It is a program where in CAL FIRE's history has been very successful.
Olivia Sandusky, NBC Palm Springs.
And now to an update on the water fire in Whitewater. It's finally contained this morning. The fire broke out Sunday and burned 52 acres. No structures were damaged. Still, no word on the cause. Now taking a live look from our Agua Caliente Casino cam in Palm Springs. Right now the smoke appears to have settled down just a bit. But take a look at a time-lapse video recorded earlier this morning. You can see smoke pushing into the north end of the valley. Time now to get another check of your AccuWeather forecast. Here's Jerry.
Yeah, other than the smoke, we have totally clear skies, basically natural cloud cover over Southern California. We have 72 degrees. That's a Cherry Valley area around the southern end of that fire. Winds are out of the west at only 6 miles an hour, gusting just above 10, so not all that bad. But these winds will pick up later today, 28% relative humidity near the fire area. Now, as far as air quality, that is an issue. This orange colored area here, it's kind of hard to see the map, but here's the Salton Sea right here. Here's I-10, and we're colored in orange over the Coachella Valley. That is unhealthy to sensitive group, according to the air quality index. So yes, if you have respiratory issues, that is going to be an issue today. A little worse as you move your way a little closer to the fire, south of the fire too. We have yellow, which is moderate actually, and then green, which is good. But so we're under the unhealthy for sensitive respiratory issue people. Now, as far as temps right now, we're in the 90s. We did see some triple digits in 11 o'clock hour yesterday. Today, a little slower with the warm up, thanks to, of course, that high pressure center weakening. 92 degrees at 29 Palms, Desert Hot Springs at 93, 97 Indio, currently 98 Rancho Mirage. Clear skies except for that smoke, of course, over Southern California. Nothing on radar over Southern California as well. Again, temperatures close to normal today, a little cooler than yesterday. 106 to 110, a range of highs, mostly sunny skies. Dew points in the mid 40s today, and eventually getting to that 105, 106, 107 degree range for many of us today. 108, the number for Palm Springs on our Comfort Air 3-day forecast. The two coolest days are going to be Thursday and Friday, with temps at 104 for Palm Springs before those numbers slowly move back up. Full forecast and 7-day just minutes away.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Thousands of students in the Palm Springs Unified School District are heading back to school today. They're the first district in the valley to start the school year. And as our Kitty Alvarado shows us, it will look very different.
It's the big day before the first day of school for the Palm Springs Unified School District. 6-year-old twins Allison and Jimena Mendez and their mom are in the multi-purpose room picking up their supplies for the 2020-21 school year at Cathedral City Elementary School. Class will be all online this year.
I'm excited.
You're excited? Why?
Because we are going to 4th grade and I like going to 4th grade.
But it's all going to be on the computer. What about that? What is that going to be like?
I don't know.
Truth from the 6-year-old. Many of us don't know what full-time online school will be like for children and parents. Their mom, Martha, has a big job this school year. Parents have to be more involved. She's got the twins plus 2 other children at home.
I'm looking forward to it. It's like a big challenge, I think, for myself and I mean for a lot of parents as well. But we'll see how it works.
Across the campus is 2nd grade teacher Georgina Mendoza's classroom. She knows how it will work. She's been putting it together for weeks. She says the tools may be different, but it's still all about learning.
We're going to find new ways of doing the things that we used to, but I hope that we still provide the same education or even better.
Still, those first day jitters are different this year.
There's that expectation of fear or nervous at the beginning of the school year. This is the most I've had.
Principal Jessica Whiteman says she, her staff, and the school district are doing everything they can to make sure every parent and student feel supported and have everything they need to be successful.
We all can relate and understand how difficult this can be, but we're here to support each other.
Happy back to school. Wow.
In Cathedral City, Kitty Alvarado, NBC Palm Springs.
Hope they have a good day. Coachella Valley Unified starts next week on the 13th and Desert Sands the following week on the 19th. Meanwhile, in Glendale, public schools are offering child care school for parents who can't stay home and teach their children for one reason or another. Each classroom will have desks spaced apart to allow for distancing. Classrooms will hold 10 to 12 children, each in their own pod. They'll follow online instruction on a Chromebook using headphones, but in-person teachers will be there in the room to help.
We might as well get ahead of it and support our students real time than wait for the loss to occur and then wonder how we're going to help them recover.
Water fountains have been turned into hand washing stations. About 1,000 students will take part in the so-called daycare school. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for Riverside County and the Valley. 356 new cases reported in the county, 107 of those from the Coachella Valley, 1 new death in the county. Nurses in Palm Springs will be rallying tonight near Desert Regional Medical Center starting at 6. The rally is part of National Nurses United National Day of Action. More than 200 demonstrators are planned at hospital facilities in at least 16 states. Nurses will rally for better protection and for the passage of a $3 trillion HEROES Act, which passed in the House but has not been voted on in the Senate. Johnson & Johnson is the latest company to enter a deal with the U.S. government over its coronavirus vaccine candidate. The government will pay the company over $1 billion for 100 million doses of its vaccine and will also be able to purchase an additional 200 million doses. The vaccine would be available to Americans at no cost. And up next, why Joe Biden won't go to Brew City to accept his Democratic presidential nomination this month. That's next. The U.S. military has located the amphibious assault vehicle that sunk off the coast of California last week. Human remains were also found. One person was confirmed dead after the training accident last Thursday. 8 others, 7 Marines and 1 sailor, were presumed dead. Authorities say a crew of 16 was performing routine exercises in the vehicle when it began taking on water. Isaias transitioned from tropical storm to hurricane and back as it slammed into the Carolina coast and steamrolled up the East Coast. In its wake, flash flooding, tornadoes, blackouts, and death. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez is in New York with the latest on the recovery.
This morning, millions across the Northeast are still without power after Isaias swept through. The deadly storm leaving behind a trail of destruction spread across a dozen states. Confirmed tornadoes in New Jersey.
It was crazy. See it forming right in front of you. It's like, what?
Downing trees and blocking the Garden State Parkway. New Jersey's governor declaring a state of emergency. In North Carolina, Isaias shredded homes. At least 2 people were killed.
1 minute you're fine, the next minute it's all hell break loose.
In Pennsylvania, widespread flooding and another possible tornado ripped the roof off this daycare with children inside.
We hide in the closet because it was destroyed.
Wow. Trees toppled across the region, knocking out power to millions.
The tree is actually up from out of the sidewalk, and it came down on this house.
It was like a freight train coming through, the loudest sound I ever heard.
In Delaware, the powerful winds knocked over a tractor trailer. Even New York City was under a rare tornado watch. A tree fell in Queens, killing a 60-year-old man in a parked car. Another building partially collapsed in Brooklyn.
And the next thing I know, I just heard like a boom, like everything just fell down.
In all, at least 6 dead from the storm. The latest disaster in a tough year.
As cleanup continues, don't forget that the pandemic is still with us. So help your neighbor, but do it safely. Wear your mask. Keep your distance.
Here in New York City, we saw wind gusts of up to 70 miles an hour. And across the Northeast, many roads and rail lines are shut down as the cleanup gets underway. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, New York.
Former Vice President Joe Biden will officially accept the Democratic presidential nomination in his home state. The original plan was for the Democratic Party's candidate to accept the bid at the DNC in Milwaukee this month. But due to the coronavirus, the convention will now be almost entirely virtual. The Trump campaign is suing over Nevada's mail-in voting bill. A new law there allows for absentee ballots to be sent to all active voters in November. The goal is to ensure protections for Nevadans to vote safely amid the coronavirus pandemic. The lawsuit filed yesterday argues the bill makes problematic changes to election law and hurts the electoral process. The Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration's reason for ending DACA. 2 months ago, the court said the administration had to restore protections and benefits for Dreamers and begin accepting new applications. But that didn't happen. And now the administration announced a new review for the program, limiting renewals to 1-year periods and rejecting first-time applications.
Potentially an additional 600,000 people that potentially could qualify to apply for the first time. People are really not only worried, but afraid and frustrated.
President Trump also says a legislative fix for DACA could follow a merit-based immigration for undocumented immigrants, but the administration has not released any formal plans for this legislation. After the massive warehouse explosion yesterday in Beirut that killed more than 100 and injured thousands more, rescue crews are searching the rubble for survivors. NBC's Richard Engel reports from London.
Much of Beirut is shattered this morning by one of the most powerful peacetime explosions ever. But the will to live remains strong even after this. A survivor this morning found under the rubble. For some, a miracle. Angles show the blast wave crumbling buildings like sandcastles. Traveling faster than the speed of sound, people couldn't get out of the way of the blast. A mushroom cloud hung over Beirut. The governor rushed to the scene and broke down, saying it reminded him of Hiroshima. The shockwave barreled through shops and a church service. But what caused it? The Lebanese prime minister said it was a horrific chemical explosion, suggesting an act of negligence, not terrorism or malice. That 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, commonly used in fertilizer, was stored at the port without proper precautions for 6 years. Local media suggest a welder set it off by accident. The government demanded an investigation. Hospitals couldn't cope as the injured streamed in. Thousands hurt, many by flying glass. Dozens were killed. President Trump offering few details, suggesting this was an attack.
It was a bomb of some kind, yes.
Beirut has seen many wars, but nothing like this.
We had it in one explosion. It is a catastrophe. I've never seen something like that.
Promises of international aid are pouring in from around the world, and some assistance is already on its way, with plane loads coming from France, Russia, Jordan, all of them sending medical supplies. The United States has said it will provide whatever help is necessary. Israel, which fought a war with Lebanon, says it's willing to provide humanitarian aid, and the country needs it. The country has been going through a serious economic crisis. The currency had collapsed, and that's even before this explosion. So many people simply cannot afford to repair their homes. Richard Engel, NBC News, London.
And coming up, Sandy Newton has another silver lining, a visit with Congressman and Dr. Raul Ruiz, his important message. And taking a look now at our Agua Caliente Casino cam in Palm Springs, Jerry's got your AccuWeather forecast. That's coming up next.
Good late Wednesday morning, Agua Caliente Casino cam. Yeah, fixed on the smoke coming from the Apple Fire on the other side of the mountains there. Over the Coachella Valley, nothing but sunshine, but we could get a little haze due to this with winds picking up later in the day. Yesterday, we had temperatures above 110, 112. That was the high in Palm Springs, about the same, 113 at Thermal. And today, the numbers come down back to where they should be, around that 107 number for many of us in the Coachella Valley. Not in the triple digits yet, getting close though. We'll make it. 98 degrees, Thousand Palms, 95 at Desert Hot Springs, 84 at Cabazon, 72 warm up at Big Bear, 97 degrees at Coachella. Clear skies over the valley right now. Not much going on over the southwest again, except for the smoke from those fires. We did have fog this morning. That has burned off. It will return again tomorrow morning. 106 to 110, the highs today. That's where we should be. That's exactly the kind of numbers we should have in early August. Lots of sunshine to go with those numbers. Winds will pick up a little later on today, much like yesterday, but getting gusty around the San Gorgonio Pass High Desert. Cities like Whitewater, Cabazon, Morongo Valley, Yucca Valley, getting a little gusty. Again, late afternoon, early evening today. The rest of us breezy at best, not so much as far as winds for the Coachella Valley, although North Palm Springs and, like I said, Desert Hot Springs getting a little gusty late in the day. And these winds will dictate where that smoke goes, too. It'll push its way generally to the east. High Desert should see most of the effects of the Apple Fire smoke later this afternoon. And again, to remind you, unhealthy to sensitive groups, that has been the forecast as far as that smoke kind of bringing down the air quality index around the Coachella Valley. So temps along the coast will be the coolest, mid-70s for most of us, upper 70s, low 80s for the Inland Empire, but we'll be above 100 degrees, but below 110 this afternoon. A lot of 108s today, and then tomorrow the numbers come down even more thanks to that weakening high pressure center and a trough of low pressure that'll move its way into Northern California. So we'll have below average numbers for 2 days before those temps move back up. Heads up tomorrow, just like this morning, we had patchy fog that'll return and push its way almost into the San Gorgonio Pass area, but patchy fog for the Inland Empire to the coastline tomorrow morning. That'll burn off in the 8 o'clock hour. And then temperatures will be cooler than what we've been seeing over the past several days. Lots of 104s on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, around that same range, maybe a degree or two warmer, but still below average on Friday before the numbers move back up. So clear skies basically each and every day for the Coachella Valley. The only issue is could see some possible smoke moving into the area, bringing some haze for us. As far as the surface moisture, for those who follow the dew points, 40-degree numbers today, down to the 30s Thursday and Friday. You can use your evaporative coolers. It'll be dry enough. Now, as far as our Comfort Air 7-day forecast, you can see the numbers bottom out at 104 Thursday and Friday before they ramp back up. And we have a string of 110s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Our Sandy Newton is back with us for a silver lining. And Sandy, this one is very unusual because it's about a doctor who goes to Washington, then comes back and, well, you tell the story.
Well, good morning, Joe. You know, of course, our wonderful Dr. Raul Ruiz, who is really an amazing leader. You know, he cares so much about our valley. He's from our valley, so he really walks the walk and talks the talk. He is an amazing person, and we use him so often, as you do, and Gino and all of our great reporters, as a great barometer for what's happening in Washington, what's happening with the pandemic. But we were interested to find out personally, what has his silver lining been? How is he motivating himself and staying positive during this really dire time? And of course, he had some beautiful, beautiful solutions to share with us.
It's really interesting to talk to him because no matter how down things get, he is always upbeat, and that's so important.
He is always upbeat. You know, his faith, his family, he has so many really areas to turn to for support because he's working 24/7, it seems. And I think our viewers will find his message very inspirational.
All right, let's hear from the good doctor.
Congratulations, you're now members of the 113th Congress.
In 2013, Dr. Raul Ruiz was elected to represent our 36th congressional district in the United States Congress. The UCLA and Harvard-educated physician was born in Mexico and moved to our valley, graduating Coachella Valley High School with dreams of serving his community. He became an ER doctor at Eisenhower Medical Center before turning to politics. And now, during the current pandemic, he is in great demand for his expertise in both fields. But we wanted to hear how he is coping personally during this uncertain time. How is he managing? He's a man of great faith and devotion to his beloved wife and young twin daughters, and they are his silver linings.
You are such an important part of what makes our valley work, I think. Your heart, your spirit, your commitment to our valley. But like all of us, even if you're a doctor, even if you're a politician, we all have silver linings during this uncertain time. It's challenging for all of us. And as I watch your example, I realize that I think it would be great inspiration for your constituents, for all of us who look to you for leadership and guidance and inspiration. So share with us, if you will, some of what you have found to be a silver lining in all of this.
Well, let me first start by saying that in times of trouble, in times of hardship, of which I have had plenty in my life, I draw strength from a very powerful source with humility and with reverence, and that is my faith in God and his son Jesus. One of the things that I focused on was to read the Psalms from Psalms 1 to 150 and really meditate upon them in my early mornings before my daughters wake up, before my wife wakes up, and I get my cup of coffee and I sit outside and I read the Psalms. I listen to them on my little Bible app, and then I really meditate. The second silver lining is to focus on relationships. What really matters are the relationships that you have. The relationship with your spouse, the relationship with your children, the relationship with your extended family, or with those friends that need encouraging or that have encouraged you in the past. And one of the things that we've done to create core memories is, going camping. And we play board games in our tent. We're not around any other person when we're out there. We love camping. My daughters are troopers. After this pandemic and for the rest of their life, when they hear about the hardships that our nation went through, that what they remember are the wonderful times. My wife asked me to paint her a set of sunflowers for her birthday in July. And so I've been doing arts and crafts with my girls, and it's creating those core memories. If we can look at the stay-at-home precautions as an opportunity to reflect on things that matter and make the changes necessary, given this opportunity to focus on that. Actively build that joy by simply spending, even if it's just 10 minutes, staring into your beautiful children's eyes and tell them how beautiful, how smart, how brave, how incredible and wonderful they are during this time, that will last a lifetime.
Thank you for sharing the personal side. I know that our Valley will be so happy and so inspired to hear how you, as a doctor and a politician, are getting through this very dire time.
Thank you.
Be well and be safe. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruiz.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
In your health today, since most kids are not going back to the classroom, that means lots of snacking at home. And parents say they are concerned because kids are starting to pack on the pounds. So this week we are talking about healthy snacks for the kids. Yesterday we talked about yogurt and the ones that are good and the ones that are bad. Today we're talking about popcorn. Some consider this a junk food, but it's really a nutritious whole grain. As long as you don't drown it in unhealthy toppings, popcorn can be a healthy snack for kids. Air pop your own popcorn, maybe drizzle it with a little bit of butter and then sprinkle on maybe some Parmesan cheese. Just be careful when you give popcorn to younger children because it can be a choking hazard. Now, you get the salt and crunch of chips, but it is 65% fewer in calories per cup. You want to look for oil-free microwave popcorn if you like the microwave kind, or brands that are air popped or popped in healthy oils like olive oil or canola oil. And that's our tip for today, and that's what's happening in your health today.
Now to some consumer news. Disinfectant wipes are hard to find, like you didn't know that, and it will remain that way until early into 2021. With a 45% market share of cleaning wipes, Clorox said it aggressively ramped up production, but it's still not enough to keep up with demand. And with the COVID pandemic expected to last well into the new year, and on top of that, cold and flu season, it will now take a year to reach the supply levels necessary to meet customer demands. Southwest Airlines is cutting back on cabin cleaning procedures instituted because of the COVID-19. This means Southwest will no longer sanitize seat belts between flights. Cleanings will now focus on a few items like tray and tables and the laboratories. Now, the move will reduce the time planes spend on the ground between flights. Deep overnight cleanings, however, will continue. Major cruise lines, will not be setting sail anytime soon. All sailing will now be suspended at least through October. It means members include Carnival, Disney, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean. The CDC originally issued a no-sail order effective through September. This is the third time the cruise group pushed back relaunching cruise ships since the start of the pandemic. As we head to break, here's another live look. This one from our Walter Clark Highway 111 cam. Jerry has your complete AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Yeah, Agua Caliente casino cam showing that smoke from the Apple fire on the other side of the mountains here. Otherwise, if you look a little bit more to the east and south, clear skies over the Coachella Valley. Now we have temperatures that are moving their way toward 100 degrees, still not there yet. Yesterday at this time we were in triple digits. 97 right now at Desert Hot Springs, 97 at the airport, 85 Cabazon, 93 at 29 Palms at this hour. Clear skies over the Coachella Valley and quiet over the southwest right now. All the monsoon moisture staying well to the east of us. But the temperatures have come down to where they should be. 106 to 110, mostly sunny skies for us in the valley. Onshore winds will pick up a little later on today. We did begin with patchy fog that will return again tomorrow morning. So the winds will be an issue with the smoke too. It'll push its way basically to the east and northeast a little later on today. For us, a little gusty around the San Gorgonio Pass and High Desert. That'll be late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Yucca Valley, Desert Hot Springs, North Palm Springs, Whitewater, definitely not so much for the Coachella Valley. And keep in mind with that smoke being pushed inland again, we're going to see that hazardous, unhealthy air for our area. According to the Air Quality Index, orange here over the Coachella Valley, unhealthy to sensitive groups. So those with respiratory problems, you might want to stay indoors in your air conditioning. Along the coast, a little cooler there too. Beaches in the mid 70s, upper 70s, low 80s, Inland Empire, but above 100 degrees for the Coachella Valley. A lot of 108s today for the valley. And then tomorrow things change a little bit more. We'll have a trough of low pressure moving into Northern California. That high pressure weakens even more, 103 to 107, so below average numbers tomorrow. And keep in mind, again, that fog will return west of the San Gorgonio Pass. Patchy fog in the Inland Empire to the coastline. Look at these numbers for Thursday. Haven't seen below average numbers in a while, and that's what's going to happen Thursday afternoon. Lots of 104s and 104s, 105s, maybe a 107 as you move into Friday afternoon. Still pretty nice. So clear skies over the next few afternoons. Maybe some haze from the smoke today and tomorrow. And as far as surface moisture, basically dry. You can use your evaporative coolers. 40-degree dew points today. They drop to the 30s Thursday and Friday, back to 40 on Saturday afternoon. Here's your Comfort Air 70 forecast. 108 today, 104 tomorrow, and again on Friday. Then the numbers move back up. Slightly above average numbers Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, with highs in Palm Springs at 110.
Well, if you take care of your skin properly, like you should be, you've no doubt heard the word exfoliate. Here to tell us more about the power of proper exfoliation is our friend Uli Haslacher from Pour Moi Skincare. Welcome, Uli.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
So good and so great to see you. And I'm excited to talk about exfoliation because we have kind of a love-hate relationship with it. We don't really know what it does, but we know it's important to really making sure that we're getting proper skin care.
Absolutely. Think of your skin that when your skin cells shedding off and they get stuck on your skin, like you have a like a plastic wrapper around your skin. So your skincare, your anti-aging skincare cannot really sink in and properly does its job. So what you need to do is to gently exfoliate them, take them off your skin layers. They need help. I know that American women have this, as you said, love-hate relationship because they hate the messiness. They hate the harshness of it. And so they often skip on the exfoliation. Well, the good news is our clarifying polish is so unique. It takes everything out what you hate about exfoliation and puts everything in you love about it. Beautiful, useful, soft, clear skin.
Well, I think the power really of exfoliation is that aging is not just about wrinkles, right? It's also about skin tone and firmness. And I always think after exfoliating, you kind of glow. Is that what you're going towards?
Well, first of all, skin aging is really not biological aging. Skin aging is external aging. So almost 90% of the signs of aging, and Sandy, that's why we call it signs of aging, are created by the climate you live in. So they are literally on the outer top layers of your skin. And the good news is that these outer layers constantly repair itself and rejuvenate itself. So it doesn't matter how old you are, this always works. Our skin is like a superhero suit and repairs itself. But, you can speed up this process and you can literally, help your skincare to work at peak level when you exfoliate. So all this brown spots, all this dull skin, all this weathered skin, you can just really take off if you, regularly exfoliate. And our clarifying polish is actually a 3-in-1 treatment. So what normally takes you like 12 minutes and you need to buy 3 products, now you do it in one step and one product. So it saves you time and it saves you money.
Wow. Well, I like that, saving time and saving money. And I like the fact that you have a special for our viewers with that very important clarifying lotion. So let's talk about that deal.
Yes. So normally it's $32, but today just $24. And all our products are made in France. So I'm pointing this out because water is always the #1 ingredient in skincare. So the quality of that water really defines the product. But what's also so special on the clarifying polish is that it is all there is no microbeads in these products because they are too harsh, but also when you drain them down in your, they go into the ocean and it's all plastic. And this is this tiny, tiny little floating, plastic that really, is very harmful to the marine life. So ours is made of 100% sugar crystals, so all natural. So you really protect also the ocean and the marine life, which is important for all of us. And at the same time, you get the harshest, most gentlest exfoliation you've ever experienced. It really is remarkable how it leaves your skin so soft, so hydrated, and so clean.
Well, that is an amazing deal. Thank you, first of all, for being so environmentally conscious and concerned about our wildlife. That's so important, our marine life, as you said. And what a great deal for our viewers. We'll look forward to trying the clarifying polish. It sounds like it's a winner for sure. Thanks so much, Julie.
Bye.
Bye. Well, you know, now more than ever, we definitely have to keep our homes clean and sanitary. So joining us now is Bo Riles, who's going to tell us how to do that with a revolutionary new product from Thane Direct. And welcome, Bo.
Thank you, Sandy.
I
appreciate you having me.
Thank you. We're so happy to have you. I have to say, a revolutionary new product, but I know Thane Direct has been around for almost 3 decades. So this is just new and improved, correct?
Yeah, just another wonderful product from Thane Direct that solves a common problem and does what it says it does.
Well, tell us a little bit about it, because I understand it gets rid of 99% of germs and bacteria, which is pretty impressive.
Well, we're taking ordinary tap water and just a little bit of salt, enough salt to fit into this little spoon right here. And what we're doing is we're electrolyzing. This is old technology that hospitals have been using for years to create, you know, a natural cleaning system that uses just the electrolyzation of salt and water together. When you send an electrical current through the salt and the water, which we do in this activator right here for about 10 minutes, push this button right here, 10 minutes later, the electrolyzation process is giving us a cleaner sanitizer and deodorizer that, like you said, kills 99% of certain germs, viruses, and bacteria, but also cleans, sanitizes, and disinfects as well, deodorizes as well.
Wow, that is amazing. I am so impressed. But I have to ask you, of course, before we get into some of the details, safe, I understand, for pets and small children, right?
Yes, absolutely. Even safer than bleach. You know, it's certainly easier on your clothes. You spill bleach on your clothes, you know what happens. You know, but you can smell once again. For the folks, one more time, the activator goes on. You plug it in. You press this button. 10 minutes later, you have this powerful cleaner sanitizer, and then you spray the spray cap on, and you can just spray as you go and clean and sanitize as you go.
That is amazing. So are there any rooms in particular? How do we use the product? I understand there's a mop as well, so it's a whole cleaning system.
There is a cleaning system. You add that mop, and now you'll be able to get all your hard surfaces, like I said, clean, sanitize, and deodorize all of your hard, flat surfaces on the ground. And with the spray nozzle on top, now you can go and spray computer keyboards, the kids' toys, the doorknobs, your steering wheel in your car, certainly all countertops. You'll want to do that, the top of the stove, just by doing a little spray right here. And again, what we're doing is we're using just the power of good old H2O and sodium chloride salt, that electrolyzation process, to create this powerful cleaner sanitizer.
That is so impressive. And when you had me at hospital, when you said that this is what the hospitals use for some of their cleaning purposes, and now we can get this in our own homes, that's pretty impressive.
It is. They've miniaturized the process and done it for anyone to use at home. And we're talking about creating this powerful cleaner sanitizer, deodorizer, Sandy, for fractions and fractions of pennies, because once again, it's just salt, a little bit of salt, and good old H2O. 10 minutes later, you have almost a quart of cleaner sanitizer. And when you run out, you just make more for fractions of pennies.
Wow, that's amazing. So you said normal tap water, normal table salt, 10 minutes. Sounds like it's a deal to me. So how do we get this great product? What is the cost? I know you said fractions of pennies, but what's the actual cost?
The actual cost of the activator is two payments of $29.95. You'll just go to H2OE3.com. That's H2OE3.com. Again, 2 payments of $29.95. But I think today, if we use the coupon code of KMIR-TV, people will receive $5 off. That's the actual your call letters of your TV station there, KMIR-TV-TV, and you get $5 off. So
that sounds like a deal. Something that's safe, something that's effective, and something in these dire times, more than ever, we really need to make sure that we're keeping our home environment sanitary and clean. And I presume there's no odor to it. It's odor-free as well?
Odor-free, for the most part, at the end of the electrolyzation, that's the tough one to say, electrolyzation process, you will smell a smell that almost smells a little bleachy. It's a very clean smell. And that's because once you've sent that current through the salt and the water, you've created 2 powerful oxidants, one that's going to cut through that grease and grime, and the other one once again, it's going to be a bacteria-destroying sanitizer and deodorizer. And once again, this product doesn't just deodorize. It doesn't just cover up odors. It actually neutralizes the odors as well, Sandy.
Wow. Well, you have all the bases covered. I'm so impressed. And thank you for that great opportunity for our viewers to get a special deal. Thank you, Bo. We appreciate it. Stay safe and stay clean.
You stay safe as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.